Hi, I'm Don Lofty. For the last 3 years, it has been my privilege and pleasure to serve as the mayor of the village of Glendale. I'm coming to you now from the heart of our village, our beloved village square, to tell you about a new program. Starting May 1st, we are going to produce a monthly video. It will contain new developments in the village, a bit about our history, some shout outs to residents who have done some really good stuff, and anything else that we can think of that might interest you. We're calling the program This is Glendale, but you can call it TIG for short. It'll probably last 15 minutes or so, more if we have more to say, less if we don't. The program's put together entirely by volunteers, starting with our Councilwoman Nancy Masenko, who created the program and has been organizing it ever since. We are fortunate to have two of our residents, Joe Dubinsky and Bett Chorus, who have agreed to serve as your co-hosts. They're going to take us all around the village. They will interview people, they'll show us things happening, and tell us what's going on in our village. We are also grateful to the support and help from ICRC. That's our local cable access channel. They're giving us camera work, broadcasting, and technical support, without which we couldn't be doing this. And the great thing is, it doesn't cost us anything extra. We're paying for it already in our annual fees. So now that you know a little bit about the program, let me officially kick off This is Glendale by turning it over to our co-hosts, Joe Dubinsky and Bett Chorus.
Welcome to the first segment of This is Glendale. I'm Bett Chorus.
And I'm Joe Dubinsky, and we look forward to telling you about what's happening in Glendale. Bett, it's going to be a pleasure working with you.
I look forward to it too. Speaking of that, what are you going to be working on today?
Well, I'm going to be across the street at the museum talking about the exhibit they have there, and then I'm going to interview the Scoutmaster about the Boy Scout annual mulch sale. How about you?
I'm going to be meeting with a representative of the UDF organization, someone from the Lindner Group, because we have recently found out that there's going to be a soft opening of the store, which means it's like a dress rehearsal for the grand opening within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I hope that he will give us some information on what it was like working in building a 21st century convenience store with the guidelines of a historic village such as Glendale. Oh, and maybe we might be able to snag an interior visit of the shop before it actually opens.
Do you think they'll have some ice cream?
Oh, well, we'll find out.
All right.
Speaking of finding out, have you noticed those blue marks that are all over the sidewalks in the village?
I did. I was wondering about that. What's that all about?
Well, those are marked as trip hazards for the sidewalks. And Tom Aldifer and I are going to meet with the contractor who's going to remedy that problem. We're going to see how he's going to do it.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Shall we get started?
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Joe Dubinsky for This is Glendale, and I'm standing outside the Glendale Heritage Preservation Museum in the Village Square to tell you about the exhibit that's on display here. Glendale is certainly well known for its 19th century homes built between the mid and to late 1800s. But within the village, there are many 20th century homes as well. And that's what this exhibit is about inside. Let's go in and have a look. I'm with Beth Sullebarger, an historic preservation consultant based here in Glendale, who put together this exhibit for us. Beth, you recently wrote an amendment for our village. Can you tell us about it?
Well, it's been 40 years since the Glendale Historic District was initially listed in the National Register of Historic Places. And rightly at that time, the primary focus of the nomination was about Glendale as a 19th century village. And it identified a period of significance for the buildings in the district from 1855 to 1899. But more than 40 years have passed, and many more buildings are 50 years old, which is the minimal age requirement for National Register listing. And it was time to acknowledge that Glendale also has many wonderful buildings that are 20th century. So I wrote an amendment to the National Register nomination, and it was passed last year.
And then, hence the exhibit that we see here. Can you tell us about the exhibit and some of the architectural styles that are represented?
I'd be happy to. The exhibit is titled Building on the Past, 20th Century Architecture in Glendale, and it highlights buildings of all different styles. We have 13 panels altogether. And some of the styles that we're showing are Colonial Revival, Georgian Revival, Tudor Revival, Craftsman, split levels, Cape Cod cottages, and even the international style.
Do you have a favorite?
I have several favorites. I really am fond of a neoclassical house on Van Ness Avenue, which was built in 1928, and it has the characteristic formal symmetry and a full-width portico facing Springfield Pike. Another of my favorites is an English cottage at 60 East Fountain, which was built in 1920 by Stanley Matthews, a local architect, as his own home. He called it Stone Olden, and it has rustic stone walls and a steeply pitched shingle roof, and it's very picturesquely set into the landscape. Another is a Craftsman-style house built in 1911. It is symmetrical in form, and it has a stucco exterior, and it has a strong horizontal emphasis that's created by the low-pitched hipped roof with wide eaves and exposed beam ends. But perhaps my all-time favorite is the Woody Garver house, which was completed in 1966 by our local modernist architect, and it has many of the typical elements of modernism. It has a flat roof and a boxy form and wide expanses of windows. And it too is set interestingly into the landscape and has a great flow between the interior and the exterior. So 1966 is the new cutoff for our period of significance. And Glendale will now be known for its outstanding 19th and 20th century architecture.
Well, that's wonderful, Beth. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
This exhibit will be on display for a few more months, and you still have a chance to see it. The museum is open on Thursdays and Saturdays from 11 to 3. For This is Glendale, I'm Joe Dubinsky.
Hello, this is Glendale, and I'm Bett Chorus. With me today we have two representatives from the UDF company who's putting together at the very last minute this marvelous store that's come to our village. With me I have Tim Kling.
Hello, welcome.
And I have Will Lindner.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
All right. Tim has worked from the very beginning of the construction, and he probably knows the most about some of the problems that we're faced with, some of the design issues that perhaps were somewhat unusual because of our Glendale heritage requirements. So can you want to share some of those with us?
Sure. So obviously we took over a couple parcels here. Some older buildings were on site. I think one of the biggest challenges was, working on a little bit tighter site than what we're used to. Probably about half the size of the site, but still fitting the newer style building with some of the square footage that we need to offer all the things that we do these days. So that was one of the biggest challenges. Above and beyond that, we feel like we pretty much scraped things and started over. Wasn't a whole lot to work with, but things have gone extremely well, even on this tight site.
Yeah, I understand that the interaction between the village and your crew was remarkable, which is always a really good thing to hear. But were there some particular things about the historical requirements, like for any aesthetics or other things that you found that you needed to come around and arrive?
There were, especially we worked closely with the village on matching the brick to the new firehouse, not firehouse, I'm sorry, the police station across the street, which was at the time going through renovation work. So we actually changed our brick to match that. Some of the other things were non-illuminated signage. So you'll find on our building it's externally illuminated with the gooseneck fixtures. Trying to think of some of the other, some of the things, the architectural style of the building, this is a very similar style to what we're using elsewhere right now, and so it did fit in, which was definitely a plus. We were able to stick with some of the other colors and the stone and the brickwork and the siding.
Yeah, I noticed that you have the brickwork around the canopy for the gas pumps. That really dresses it up a lot. It's a terrific thing. And Will, what exactly do you do with the organization?
So actually just recently I came on to the real estate department, but been working for the company for 15 years since high school, so done another number of dirty jobs, whether it's new store construction, plant maintenance for a while, but I came underneath Tim's tutelage here about 2 or 3 months ago, so finding sites, getting them through zoning, title work, all that fun stuff.
Wonderful. Having the lender name gets you in, but you still have to do all the work, right?
Yep, still got to do the work.
That's terrific. I did want to ask you, you said that you have this type you are using now, the construction. Is this a smaller size than you're accustomed to building because of this perhaps
It is
smaller?
actually. So our new stores are almost 6,000 square feet. This falls about 1,000 square feet shy of that. But we were still able to incorporate all of the same features and benefits inside, as well as the outdoor seating area. In fact, this is the first one we've done where we actually surrounded it with the stone columns and the fencing around there. So it really turned out nice.
Yeah, we're really grateful that you're able to do that. It's just a lovely setting. When are we going to get to come in and eat your ice cream?
So we open officially next Friday, May 3rd. That'll be what we call a soft opening. And then we do a grand opening celebration on May 18th. There'll be a lot of mailers that people in the area will get, all kinds of specials. We make a big event out of it on that weekend of the 18th.
That's fantastic. Anything you would like to add?
Look out for some good deals. It will be crowded, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yes, I understand that there's a broadcast mailing of coupons and things. You want to talk about that?
Yes, we send out, usually within like a 5-mile radius of the new stores, a booklet full of coupons. So a lot of free stuff, a lot of buy one, get one free, discounted. And then we will have, I think, some deals going on the day of the grand opening as well.
Excellent. One last question. I noticed that you're going to have one of our black squirrels in front of your store. We're dying. Are you going to get an artist to put an ice cream cone in it?
We're going to do something very special and unique, but I think I don't have that to reveal just yet.
All right, we'll wait. But that's it. Signing off for This is Glendale. Bet Chorus, goodbye.
It's a sure sign that spring has come to Glendale because of the mountain of mulch behind me. Hi, I'm Joe Dubinsky for This is Glendale, and I'm at the corner of East Sharon Avenue and Willow Avenue, where the Boy Scouts are once again planning to sell mulch within the village. I'm with Scoutmaster Mick Higgins. Mick, for how many years has the Boy Scouts been selling mulch?
The Boy Scouts have been selling mulch since 2002, every year consecutively here in Glendale.
And how will you use the money that's raised?
The money that is raised is used to support scouting in a number of different ways. It pays for scouts to go to summer camp. It pays for some of their trips throughout the year, the canoeing trip, ziplining trip. But ultimately, the big thing is the venture trip that the scouts take every summer.
And where are you going this year?
This year, the scouts are headed to the birthplace of scouting, London, England, where they'll be staying in the Lord Baden-Powell House, which houses the Scouting Museum. They'll spend 3 days in London, and then they're heading down to Malta to the new International Scout Camp that opened down in Malta, with an opportunity to meet some scouts from around the world.
Wow, that's an exciting trip. I wish I were young enough to be a scout. So how much does the mulch cost?
The mulch is $4.50 per bag, and that price is delivered anywhere here in Glendale. The scouts will spread it for an additional $2.
And how do you order mulch from you?
There are forms right here at the corner of East Sharon and Willow in a little mailbox that they can pick out a form, fill them in. They're also located in the Scout House. They're located over in the village offices, and a number of them have been mailed out. Or you can always stop us when you see us out around spreading mulch.
And when does the sale end?
We run it up through May 25th. We try to have everything done before the parade, the Glendale Memorial Day Parade.
Well, thanks, Mick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when you're getting ready to spruce up that yard, remember to order your mulch from our local Boy Scout group. It's a great way to help the youth in our community. For This is Glendale, I'm Joe Dubinsky.
Hello, this is Glendale, and today we're here to talk about those blue marks on the sidewalks we referred to earlier. And with me is Tom Alderfer, who knows everything about it. Tom?
We made a decision late last year, early this year, to have a sidewalk program and do some improvements on some of our tripping hazards. And we had a company come in and evaluate our sidewalks, and wherever they found a tripping hazard of 5/8 to 2 inches high uneven sidewalk. They applied a blue mark, recorded it for us, gave us an estimate of what the repairs were to do, and we're doing a little different process than we have in the past to take care of that.
Yes, in the past, I seem to remember that whole panels were replaced. In fact, when we lived on Willow, the resident, were responsible for those. But you're saying you've come up with a different solution and a different way of paying for it?
Yes, we have. This process is a cutting process instead of the removal of the sidewalk panel itself, and a considerably less amount. We did some research on the matter and found out that the life expectancy from an uneven area contributed by tree roots or movement in the ground that was about the same as pouring, and talked to a few communities, and they felt that they were satisfied with this process.
So to replace the panels, what might it have been? The costs, I mean.
The cost for replacing, we came up with a number of 659 panels to be repaired, and the cost for replacement of that would have been $105,000. And the process of this diamond cutting process is $40,000.
That's a big savings. Now, is it as permanent and long-lasting?
What research I did and we did on looking in this from other communities that use it, they've been very satisfied and put it into their street program for the last few years, and they feel that it's very compatible with the longevity of what a port is to a grinding, cutting type thing.
That's excellent. And I gathered now, with coordinating it all at once, which would have been a nightmare to do individual homeowners, the money is coming from a fund. Do you know which one I'm referring to?
We aren't taking it out of our street construction general operating budget. It's been accepted by the village VPGI fund and will be completely covered, the $40,000 of the repairs of the sidewalk leveling, which will make all our sidewalks ADA compliant, the slope of the cutting for it. So. And I would like to put a note of interest out too for those of us that appreciate the historic sidewalk we have that runs down Greenville. That sandstone sidewalk, which is so nice and unusual to have for a community, the repairs that need to be leveled out on those are going to be done by the village maintenance department in-house, and there won't be the cutting process. We will do it all leveling out by handwork.
That's terrific. Another historic item saved for at least for a little longer. That's it. Thank you for watching. Welcome everyone to this show of This is Glendale. As you saw earlier, we are inside the new Bluebird to go. And with me is Jenny.
Hi, Beth. This is Jenny Dennis here. And this is my new Bluebird to go. Welcome everyone.
I'm so excited to finally be here. I regret that we weren't able to record your grand opening, but tell me, how did it go?
It went great. We had at least 25 people here. We had the mayor, we had the Wally Cordes, we had my employees, and it was super fun. We did our ribbon cutting, official grand opening.
That's really terrific. Now, how long has this been a dream of yours?
A long time, Beth. At least 10 years, I would say. I wanted to have a business on Sharon Road. So I've been in the Village Square for 23 years now, and I wanted to be out on Sharon Road really bad. So
terrific, and this is a great spot for many reasons.
I think so. I got north, south, east, and west, and I'm across the street from the school, and everybody knows where this is. So
parking's not a problem generally?
But it's not a problem except when the kids are getting picked up in the afternoon. So there's about a half-hour window there where it's pretty congested. But other than that, you can pull right up, get your coffee, get your smoothie, and be on your way.
Okay, what time frame is that for those of us who may not have children in school these days?
Right, it's 2:15 to 2:45, right in there, that it's congested out here with the school buses and all the parents picking up.
Terrific. Okay, show me. Obviously, this is very different from Bluebird Bakery number 1.
Right.
So tell us some of the differences.
Well, I decided to do a full Italian espresso machine here and really go with that, with the lattes and the espressos. And then with that, I thought it would be a nice addition to do the smoothies. So where around here you're going to get a really good fruit smoothie right here at the Bluebird. So we got the equipment for that. And then you can do your frappes, you can do any of your hot drinks, cold drinks. Then traveling out west, I ran across fizz shops and thought, what a cool thing.
You mean like a throwback to the 50s?
Yes, yes. It's like jacked up sodas, they call them, out in Utah and Nevada, and I even had them in Maine. And they take the sodas and they add flavors to them. So we have our whole line of flavors here. We have regular and sugar-free for those who want to watch your calories. But it's just a lot of fun. And we can take the soda, put the cream and the syrup, and put a whipped topping and candy on top for the kids, and just make it a lot of fun.
Okay, you can't go to Blueberry Bakery without getting something baked. Do you have offerings of those as well?
We do, we do. We have some of our favorites. We have our scones. We have our ice cutout cookies, of course. We have the jar cookies. We have some biscotti. Then we're also carrying brownies and lemon bars, the macaroons and the Buckeyes. And we do those just in a small little pickup size. So you can, just grab and go with your coffee. We also have some salty treats. We're doing popcorn. We're doing hot dogs at lunch now and nachos. We're doing the Chicago style hot dogs, which are my favorite. And so you can just grab and go here, is why it's got the name Bluebird to Go.
Well, that's it for our show today. Bet, do you have anything to add?
Yes. Apparently, congratulations are in order for Ms. Rutshaw's class at Glendale Elementary School for being the top readers in the annual Readathon.
And don't forget, May 12th is Mother's Day. So order your flowers from the Glendale florist and make a reservation at one of our fine restaurants.
Friday, May 18th, Glendale Elementary May Fete. It's a fun-filled day with rides, games, and food. Starts at 3, goes to 8, and it's the largest fundraiser for the Glendale PTA.
And the mulch sale from the Boy Scouts ends on May 25th. Finally, Bet, you have something to say about something that you're very involved with.
Yes, and that's the Memorial Day celebration. Memorial Day this year is Monday, May the 27th, and there will be the parade, which starts at 9:30, and it will end up at the ceremony in front of the memorial wall around 10 o'clock. We hope you come to see it. It's a great celebration the village really supports.
Well, for This is Glendale, I'm Joe Dubinsky.
And I'm Bette Porras.
See you next time.
Bye.